Hey McKenna, so I wanted to walk through why you're not going to pay off your student loans based upon your current scenario and instead invest that money. So what I did is I took the 4 different student loans that you have and I put in the balances and the interest rates that you have on them. So this is important for 2 reasons. Number 1 is the money that you're going to be receiving that is going to automatically go towards student loans, you're going to be able to direct to one of these 4, and the first loan that you're going to want to pay off is going to be obviously this group AD because it's your highest interest rate loan. So when you get the money to go towards allocating towards paying down student loans, you're going to pay off the group AD, which is at 4.99. But what this worksheet does is I put in all of the loans, all of the balances, and what their actual interest rates are, and it gives me a blended interest rate. So on the $27,593.56 of student loan debt that you have, it's showing that the total of all of the interest rates, if you combine them, is actually just over 4%. So one of the things that's unique about that is because the total cost of the debt is so low, there's a greater opportunity in retirement funds or investments to beat the 4%. So you got to look at it this way. If you borrowed $1, which is what you did here, and it's going to cost you 4 cents, but you turned around and invested that $1 and it made you 10 cents, then you're better off investing that, borrowing it and investing it, than you are paying off the debt. Paying it off is going to save you 4 cents, but by investing it you made 10. Even though it cost you 4, there's a net difference. It's called arbitrage of 6 cents. That's the money that you accumulate in wealth. So in looking at that, let's take a look at this. So what this is I put in your $27,000, I put in the interest rate, and let's say you're going to pay it off in a matter of 15 years, you'd mentioned, is about what it's going to take. So it's going to show you that the total monthly payment in order to pay it off in 15 years is going to be about $204, and it should show me here, yeah, the total of all payments, you're actually going to pay it about $9,000 in interest over those 15 years. So the total of everything is going to be $36,769. So simplicity wise, people could say, well, I don't want to do that. I don't want this money to cost me $9,000. So let me show you this then. What I did is I took the money and I threw it into an investment return calculator, put in the same 15-year time frame, and I picked an interest rate return of 8%. Now the reason I did that is we can look at what the Standard & Poor's 500 index is. It was actually 12.6. We can look at different rates of return, 10.7. They show the lowest 12-month year-over-year return back in 2008 with the big crash was actually negative. So just using an average, we can use whatever. We can use 8%, we can use 7%, we can use whatever. So I used 8, we can even change it down to 7. We've got your initial investment. Let's say you've got the $27,594 instead of paying it off, right? And you're going to kick in $150 a month on this because instead of you paying towards your student loans, you've got an extra $150 you can add to this retirement account. Okay, if you were to do this, and we'll leave inflation rate at 3%, the government's trying to get it down to 2, but it was as high as 9. I'm just going to pick a 3% return, and tax rate 0 currently, just simply because you don't have a lot of taxes that you're paying as a young professional just getting started. So when we look at this, here's what it's showing us. So that whole idea, if I can borrow $1 at the cost of 4 cents and I can put it in an account even making 7 cents, there's an arbitrage of 3. What does that do for your total investment at the end of 15 years? So on the student loan side, 15 years the loans are paid off. On the investment side, after 15 years, putting it this way, you end up with $132,208 in the bucket that is, so by now the student loans are paid off based upon the current plan that you had in action, and by putting the money into the retirement you end up with $132,208. Even if you, and that's at a 7% rate of return, get with a finance person and figure out what it's going to be. If it's, even if I put it at 4, you still have $94,000. we're going to leave this at 7 because we're probably going to do better than that. And then say, but Dad, I don't have the money to invest it in here if I'm paying down the student loans. If it was a lump sum, even if you just took this money as a lump sum and never added anything else to it, just let that compound, you're still going to have twice as much money in the IRA through this conversion than you are paying down and paying off the student loans. So the question becomes, do you want to pay off the student loans with the money and save $9,000, or do you want to invest that money into an IRA and double up, triple up on that money over the same period of time? I hope this makes sense. Just wanted to show you, this is one of those affluentology things that I share with my clients. Just wanted to show it to you with the real numbers, looking at your opportunity to increase your own wealth by not paying off the student loans. Last little sidebar on this is the fact that the Biden administration just did forgive billions of dollars of student loans. All of your student loans are the unsubsidized federal loans based upon your income bracket. You are more likely to have those loans forgiven than any other Parent Plus loans. That's why those were paid off. So you never know. If you pay off this debt, you're not going to get reimbursed for paying it off. If you hold the debt, there is a chance the debt could be wiped out. So that's another reason keeping it could be a good idea. All right, any questions on this, feel free to give me a call. But this is the reason why we're not going to pay off the debt. We're going to invest that money instead, which is affluentology utilizing arbitrage. All right, that's it. Talk to you soon.